Mr. Williams, you've petitioned this court for a DNA test to prove to your ex-girlfriend that you are the biological father of her 2-year-old twin daughters.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you're willing to risk your current parental rights to prove that you are without a doubt their biological father.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Coleman, you are positive that Mr. Williams is not your daughter's father because you cheated on him during the exact time of conception.
Yes,
you say when today's results are revealed, you want Mr. Williams to leave you and your daughters alone for good. That's
yes,
correct?
Your Honor.
So, Mr. Williams, why are these DNA results so important to you today?
I got 13 kids, Your Honor, and it seems like this is it keeps happening on and on and on. Like, everybody get with, they see how close I am to the kids, and the way to hurt me if I leave them alone is to take my kids away from me. So this time, though, I signed my birth certificates, if you don't mind looking at it.
Absolutely. Let me see those. These are the birth certificates for the twins?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
And you are presenting these to the court because you say when they were born, you signed them?
I signed the birth certificate.
You are the legal father?
Yes, ma'am. I named them and everything. And today I got to prove that I am the father because, you know, she told the courts that I'm not the father. You know, so I'm trying to go for full custody. If I can't prove that I'm the father and it get back to Detroit, that I'm not the father, then she's taking my kids away from me. I'm never gonna see them.
So the bottom line is you are the legal father of record. You have signed the birth certificate.
Yes, right now I got joint custody.
For both of the twins, and you were awarded joint
custody, yes.
Legal and physical custody?
Legal and physical, yes.
And so the stakes are high because if in fact you are not the twins' biological father, as she asserts,
yes,
she can go to court and petition to have these rights you have via this birth certificate and you listed as legal father taken away.
Yes, Your Honor, she can.
So, Ms. Coleman, he signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
And you obviously allowed that.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he has joint custody.
Yes.
So why are you saying he's not the children's biological father now?
Well, he's not. And the reason why is because I did cheat on him around the time of conception, and we did not use protection.
So why do you allow him to go through this whole process and go in there and sign the birth certificate?
Because I know he's a good dad. He's not a good boyfriend, but he's a good dad.
If you know that, he's on the birth certificate, he's responsible for them under the law, and he wants the children to be his, why say he's not the biological father?
Because he's not. At the time that I allowed him to sign the birth certificate, I just knew that my children would be taken care of.
While he's signing this birth certificate and he's feeling like, oh, I just had twins, this is amazing. You in your mind are saying, I'm gonna make sure my kids get taken care of, I'm gonna let him sign this birth certificate, but I know in my mind he's not their biological father. Are you worried he's gonna try to take your kids away?
Well, he's not taking them away. If anything, I'm going to fight for my children. That's not gonna happen.
Do you feel like that's his intention?
Yes.
So you prepared a calendar today for the court because you want to prove he is not the biological father.
Yes.
Please step towards your exhibit and make sure I'm right on the right track from what I see from this exhibit. In red, you claim you were intimate with the other guy.
Yes.
The other guy.
On this date.
On December 24th.
Yes.
Tell me what happened on the 24th of December.
He left me for Christmas. This would have been our first Christmas together. And with me, when I get emotional and when I get stressed out, I use sex as a coping mechanism, so to speak.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just, I do. I got very emotional, I got very depressed and stressed, and I went out because he left me and I cheated.
And you know it was that date?
Positive.
And you believe that man is the biological father of your twins?
Yes.
And your twins were born on July 7th, am I correct?
Yes.
That's what that date is that's highlighted.
Yes.
7, this is about 27 and a half weeks.
Mm-hmm.
How far along were you when you delivered the twins?
I had just hit 7 months, if I'm not mistaken, so they were born premature.
So when you counted back, it led you to the December 24th date when you know you were intimate with the other guy.
Yes.
Were you also intimate with Mr. Williams around that time?
No.
No. All right, please step back to the podium. Mr. Williams, why do you think she's denying this now? Because you seem like you were present and, like I said, more than willing to sign the birth certificate and even lobbied for joint custody, which is wonderful. Why is she doing this now?
Just recently, I believe it was like 2 months ago, I was coming over and I noticed all the lights off. So I'm like, dang, why is the lights off? She must be gone. It's about 10 o'clock anyway, or asleep or something. So I walk in, I try to open the door, I'm like, oh, it's unlocked. So let me walk upstairs. So I walk upstairs, get to the door. I hear the kid screaming, so I'm like, dang, is her door unlocked? Her door's unlocked. I walked in. All the lights off, so I'm like, oh, okay, the kids in the room crying. So I went to unlock their door, opened their door up, they came out screaming. I went to her room, like, Bree, why you letting them scream like that? She wasn't there. There's some more kids in there. I'm like, who the heck kids is these? I said, where your mama and Bree at? She said, oh, they gone. I said, where they at? She said, I don't know.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
So I'm going hysterical. I don't know what to do, so I ran to the front. I'm like, I yell out the window like, bro, this girl done left the kids in the house by themselves. Come in. He come in. He like, what you gonna do with these kids? So I go downstairs, and when I'm going downstairs, a lady come in. She like, oh, what you doing with your grandkids? I'm like, who is you, lady? She's like, oh, well, I'm the kid's grandmother. I'm like, grandmother? I'm like, well, you're not my kid's grandmother. I know who my kid's grandmother is. She said, oh, where the other kids? I said, oh, they upstairs. Like 2 hours later, she come in, she's screaming, you trying to take my kids? You trying to take my kids? I ain't leaving by themselves. Somebody else was supposed to be watching them, but she left them upstairs by themselves to go cook her something to eat. I'm like, what?
Miss Coleman, did you leave the children by themselves?
No. Well, this is the story. When I left to go out and go get something to eat. I asked my neighbor to watch my children. She said, okay, I'm going to watch them. When I left out, my children were sleeping. Their diapers were clean. Everything was taken care of.
And the other kids were?
My friend's children was in my room watching TV. So she said, yeah, she'll watch all of them because we were running right around the corner. I was only gone for about 10 or 15 minutes and I get a call from my friend's mother saying, oh, he ran out the house with the kids, blah, blah, blah. According to her, when she left, the children were asleep, which I know because they were asleep when I left. She said she went downstairs to check on her food because she smelt it burning. She said that she heard him, she watched him come in, so she figured that there was no reason for her to go back upstairs. So she went in the back room and just, hey, he's there. Their father is upstairs.
Oh, so she never went up and acknowledged, first of all, who is it?
She watched him come in the house and she said there's no reason for her to come in. Go upstairs.
I don't like that story. When you leave your children with someone, you understand that you have to leave them with a responsible person, right?
Yes.
So, Mr. Williams, you think she's denying you're the father because she's fearful that you are trying to take these children?
Yeah, she's afraid I'm gonna take the kids, which I'm going to get custody of them because she's not a good parent at all.
Let me deal with the paternity now. When did you start telling him he was not the biological father?
A couple months ago. Your Honor, you don't understand. I am tired of this man. I have had this man in my life since I was 18 years old, okay? And he has caused me nothing but hell in my life. I've not been happy since I've been with him, since I met this man. I've not been happy. True enough, he took care of me. He did what he had to do for me. But I've never been happy with him.
But you had...
I want him out of my life. If I try to uplift myself, he stumps me back down to the ground. Because he doesn't want me to feel like I'm somebody. He wants to feel as though he's above everybody.
Are you saying the children are not his biological children to get him out of your life?
I'm saying that the kids are not his because they're not his.
Your Honor, she's saying they're not mine basically because I'm trying to fight for my kids. Basically, that's what the whole situation is about.
You have 13 children. Go fight for those and leave mine alone.
Okay.
Ms. Coleman, the other man from December 24th, that man, you say he's their father.
Yes.
Have you told him that?
It was a one-night stand and I would care not to have nobody in my life, honestly.
Was there any other man you were intimate with during that window of time when you say you all broke up?
What about the 3 guys that came over to my house?
I'm going to walk out now, okay?
Ma'am.
Because I want to hit him, be honest with you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because this man is trying to kill this stupid man.
Calm down.
How dare you?
Ma'am.
How dare you?
Ma'am.
Ms. Coleman, I need you to come here and I need you to tell me. I need you to tell me. Don't even look at him.
How dare him?
Don't even look at him. This is why, just stand there, sweetheart. I want to hear your side of the story. So understand, when he tells me something, just because he says it doesn't mean I believe it.
It's not belittling you. I'm just
Let
saying
her
the
speak.
truth.
Let her speak, Mr.
Since
Williams.
this man has opened his mouth since we've been in this courtroom, he has not took the blame for anything that he did. He made it so seem as though he was better at everything.
There is no way in the world I would ever believe, given the situation that I'm witnessing right now, that either party were without blame or incident. Nobody in this room is perfect. Everybody in here has made a mistake, has acted out of character. We're not judging you. We're just here to understand the story because we care about the twins and we care about you because you're their mother and we want to know who their father is because we want them to have a foundation, right? Look at me. We want them to have a foundation.
They have a great foundation with me being their mother.
They need me in their life. I can't just take you out their life. So that's why I called you and said, do you want to co-parent? I told you, they need you in their life. I will never take my kids out their mother's life because that's going to destroy them. That's going to destroy them.
Ultimately, what's at stake is the fact that this man seems to be very invested in these children. And baby, I got to call it the way I see it. You made a choice to allow this man to sign the birth certificate because you said, I knew he'd
for the
be
benefit of my kids.
For the benefit of your children, because I knew he'd be there, I knew he'd take care of them, and I knew he'd be a father. But now, listen, because this is how life is a double-edged sword sometimes. The very reason you wanted him to be the legal father of your children is now the very reason you feel like you want him out of your life. So if you never came into paternity court, you would be these children's legal father and your rights would remain.
Yes, Your Honor, they will.
Why would you risk it all?
Man, it's very important that I prove that I'm a daddy. I want my kids to grow up with a father. See, I ain't grow up with a father. You know, I ain't grow up with my mother. I grew up with my other family members, you know, moving back and forth to everywhere. So I don't want my kids to grow up like that. Me, I want them to have me in their life. I want to be there to see them do everything, you know, and if I can't prove that I'm the daddy, then, you know, she get all rights and I don't got to be in their family.
So, Ms. Coleman, he's here risking the very position he occupies because he's trying so desperately to prove he's the biological father. So what he's doing is standing here and he's willing to hear results that state you are not these children's father.
And if I hear that, it's going to crush me.
Good.
It's going to crush me.
Good.
I sat in there, I worked 12 hours a day to take care of y'all. Moved y'all from a bad neighborhood to a better neighborhood.
You shouldn't have been so nice.
Yes, you're not going to just take my kids and run off with them.
So, Ms. Coleman, I want to know, are you sure?
I'm positive.
That he's not the father?
I'm positive he's not the father.
So the bottom line is everything is riding on these results.
Yes,
and I have them for you. Jerome, the envelope. In the case of Williams versus Coleman, when it comes to fraternal twins, Nevaeh and Heaven Williams, and whether or not Mr. Williams is their biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Williams, you are the father of both twins. You don't seem surprised, Ms. Coleman.
I'm mad.
I can tell. I know you're happy, Mr. Williams.
Yes, I am.
The results are in. The truth is out.
Yes.
What are we gonna do? You all got a lot of bad energy between you. Everybody makes a mistake in life. It's where you go from here. When I said you weren't surprised, Ms. Coleman, it's because I could tell you really wanted to hurt him. You did.
Because he hurt me for 4 years. 4 years straight just hurt me.
I can see that.
Seriously, and I'm tired of him. I just want him gone. I was having a good life before he came around. I was. I hate him. I just want him gone. I don't...
Let me say something to you, and I know this may be difficult to process now. When we make the choices we make in life, the people we choose to call into our life, especially if we have unprotected sex, we're always creating the risk of a lifelong connection. Your desire to hurt him and get rid of him and get back at him and have revenge on him for everything he may have in fact done to you, I say this to you, Ms. Coleman, with all due respect, it's hurting you more than what he actually did. It's time to refocus ourselves, both of you. Mr. McGrier, you say that a summer affair you had 20 years ago resulted in the birth of the defendant, Amia Wade. You say that while you weren't always the best dad, you most certainly are her biological father, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wade, you say you were always told by your mother that Mr. McGrier is your dad, but claim that as a child you discovered information which leads you to believe another man is your father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. McGrier, why is it so important now that you prove to Ms. Wade that you are her biological father?
You know, I'm doing this because I love her. And I really want her to know, you know, I really apologize for the times that I wasn't there and couldn't be the dad that I really wanted to be.
I don't believe that you're my father. I don't want you to be my father.
You don't want him to be your father?
No, he just was never there as a father. He popped in and out of my life, like, over the years.
Were you in and out of her life, sir?
Yes. My lifestyle didn't permit me to be the father that I wanted to be or needed to be at that time, just to be with her as a dad. You know, just as much as I missed a lot of her life, you know, that really bothered me the same way that I couldn't be in her life like I really needed to be.
And I can see you are very angry about that, Ms. Wade.
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Tell the court what it was like growing up without the man you were told was your biological father.
Well, you know, there would be times where I would ask for him and he was nowhere to be found. There were times at school where they had father-daughter dances. He was nowhere. Everybody else had their father. Why couldn't I have mine?
Even at 20 years old, those are still memories you carry with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's look at them days when I wasn't there. I'm in one state, you in another state.
It doesn't matter. If you really thought that you was my father, you would have made a way to be there. No matter what you went through, you was never there.
Well.
And then you want to come in and out of my life 5 years at a time. You want to come in my life when I'm 19 and try to be a dad. It's not gonna work like that.
Okay.
How was he in and out of your life, Ms. Wade? Can you explain that to the court?
I was 5 years old.
When the first time you met him?
Yes, ma'am.
5 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
And you remember it?
I kind of sort of remember me and my mom took a trip to New York where that's where he was. And I met his mother and some of my other siblings there. After that, we came back home. I didn't see Mr. McGrier until like I was like 11, 12.
Another 6, 7 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
My lifestyle didn't permit me to be the father that I wanted to be.
You still should have been there. It doesn't matter.
I understand how you feel.
No, you don't.
Oh, I understand how you feel.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you would have made an effort to be there no matter what.
But I did make efforts to be there with you.
But you bounced in and out of my life.
But when I could, I did.
It does not matter.
I did.
You should have been the father.
At the end of the day,
you should have been a father.
I'm still your dad.
No, you're not.
I'm still your dad.
No, you're not.
And I'm going to be your dad for the rest of your life. It's done.
It's my decision.
But at the end of the day, we could change this. It's up to
I
you,
don't
but
want
you know
you in
what?
my life.
So hold on, I want to understand what's
going on.
going on.
I always love you.
I want to understand. Are you feeling so hurt that you just don't want him to be your father because he's hurt you so much? Or do you truly believe he may not be your biological father?
I feel like it's both.
All right.
But like there was times, Your Honor, when Mia was sent to me by her mom to be there for her. When she came to stay with me for them couple of weeks. And I didn't deny that. I didn't say, no, don't send her here because that's not my daughter, none of that. I just said, send her, yeah, of course. Of course, because that's another bond that I can get with her, you know, so I can get to know her.
No, Your Honor. My mother said, your dad want to spend some time with you. I'm going to send you for a weekend, which was probably 3 to 4 days and whatnot. I went up there and yes, we made a bond. Yes, we talked. But after I came back home, another 6 years went by.
But your mother did say your dad wants to spend this weekend with you. So your mother was indicating this was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Wade, when you sent your daughter to stay with Mr. McGrier, it was under the belief that this was her biological father, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you believe he's not your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Ms. Wade, what was your relationship like with Mr. McGrier?
The relationship with Mr. McGrier, it was a summer affair. We were together for a couple of months. Once we split up, it was about a week or two later, I started dating another guy, and I didn't find out until I was approximately 3.5 months pregnant with Amia.
And so when you got pregnant, did you know for certain if Mr. McGrier was the biological father, or could it be the other gentleman as well?
I don't think it could be the other gentleman because I don't believe in one-night stands. We only had one occurrence. After that occurrence, I found out that he was sleeping with another family member of mine, and I cut him off.
Okay. So did you tell Mr. McGrier you were pregnant when you found out?
He wasn't there during the pregnancy. By the time he got back in touch with me and came back down to Greenwood, I had already had Amia. Amia was about 2.5 months old the first time he actually seen her. We tried to work it out then, but things just didn't work out, and I actually gave him an ultimatum. I actually told him, it's either me and your daughter, or it's your lifestyle. And he chose the lifestyle.
So, Mr. McGrier, when you heard about the baby, did you have any doubts that she was your biological daughter?
Not at all.
You didn't?
No, I didn't have any doubts. She wasn't promiscuous like that. When she's with one person, she's with one person. And I had to leave because, well, like really have a woman in your life that really cared for you, I didn't want to mess that up with her. You know, even though I had a relationship with her, but I couldn't have been the man because my lifestyle wouldn't allow me to be the man that I needed to be, or a father as a family.
Listen, I say all the time in this courtroom, every person makes mistakes. As much as I acknowledge Mr. McGrier's journey, I also acknowledge and I can honor your pain in this. And I know this had to hurt as a young girl.
He made so many promises that he didn't keep. When I was 13, promised to get me a whole new wardrobe of clothes for school. I had to go to school with the same clothes I put last year, and that resulted into me being bullied all high school. So as a result, I think that was his fault. There were times where little things like the bookmobile came around. I wanted a book called My Dad for $10, didn't get it. You're not so bad of a person. Like, you could have done it.
You feel like he never made you a priority.
Right.
And he didn't follow through on his promises to you.
Right. And it's like, now you want to spend time with your other kids, but you didn't make an effort with me.
Do you hear her when she's speaking, Mr. McGrier?
Yes. Actually, Mia actually got more time than any of my other kids, except for the newborns that I have.
But
because
Ms. Wade, I think she feels a level of envy because you are so focused on raising those children, and she felt like, well, if you could get focused on raising these children, why couldn't you get focused on raising me? Is that what you feel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because at that time, I wasn't focused. And when we stayed together this last couple of months, I couldn't treat her like a kid. I couldn't raise her. She was already grown. But all I could do is be there for her, just recognize that I'm here. We cried together. I cried with her and let her know how I felt, how I felt to miss the days, and I hope she forgive me. You know, I understand somebody not having their mom and dad there, and then like she's saying in and out the life, so that's a difference.
I just feel like another man could be my father. Another man came into my life when I was 11 years old.
Tell the court about this experience.
he would just come around and speak to me, you know, give me a little change, like carry pocket full of change. He said that he could be my father, and that's when he automatically introduced me to like 6 of his other kids. And after that, I spent more time with them. He's been taking care of me ever since that age. He has been there for my prom days. He spent time with me and his other children. He took us to the zoo. He like spent quality time.
Do you know the gentleman she's talking about, Ms. Wade?
That's the guy I tried to have a relationship with after Mr. McGrier and I split up.
So did he step in as a father figure, or was this a possibility? Like, were you saying to yourself, this could potentially be her biological father?
I never thought that, even though he has said that since I was about 6 months pregnant.
So this gentleman,
always said that.
This gentleman thought he was your daughter's biological father.
He's always said that.
Mr. McGrier, did you know about this other gentleman?
No, not right offhand, Your Honor. My daughter brought it up to me one day. I came up to visit, actually another time, you know, when me and she could try to make it again. And that was brought up that there might be somebody else that could be the father.
Yeah, that's when I...
And that wasn't like, you know, something that we pursued.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
I
that...
told him, when I told Mr. McGrier, I told him about the other guy, I say, and he's been claiming to be Miss Wade's father since before she was actually born. He's always said, that's my daughter, I believe my daughter, and I've always told him, no, she's not. No, she's not.
So you told him the truth, but you said, I don't believe this is true.
Mm-hmm.
So it truly is about Mr. McGrier being in and out of your life as a father, but also having this information and having this other person not just tell you directly, but tell your mother, and even Mr. McGrier being informed that this other man believed he was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor. I felt like he came into my life. He was there. He acted like a father. He gave me the love I've been wanting my whole life. My oldest brother had to step in to be a father figure to me, and that wasn't his job. It was his job if he really thought I was his daughter.
That's a lot of hurt, you know, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And I just wish things could have been different. But there's a forward process to making it better, to move on.
Exactly.
And I'm here today because I want you to have your clarification and feel better about whatever.
Thank you for saying that, Mr. McGrier. And I think you are so right. This moment is about finding out how we can move forward. It's also about her having the opportunity to have her say. And Ms. Wade, I want you to take your opportunity because that's why we're here. And I want you to tell Mr. McGrier how you really feel. And look at him. You're strong enough. You can do it.
I just feel like at the father-daughter dance, all these other dads was dancing with their daughter, and you weren't there. You could have been there for me.
I'm so sorry for that.
Just take a deep breath.
So sorry for that. Now I understand how you feel. I came a long way. Trying to be a man. Trying to be a man, you know? Trying to grow up. And I just need that chance. I'm struggling so hard just to like, be somebody. So for me to man up and try to be a responsible parent, and my kids don't have to worry about knowing if their dad was there, is he gonna be there? I know I put myself first, I really did, being selfish, because I was a kid myself, but I'm growing up, and I wanna be a better dad. And if you allow me, there'll be no more broken promises. There'll be no more broken promises. 'Cause I don't like to make promises that I can't keep. That hurts me even more not to be able to come through when I say that. You know, that takes a lot. You know, I let my own down. And I let myself down even more because where I'm at today, it's for me. It's for me. And I just hope we have another chance to make things right. Because I love you.
with all of that so beautifully said. Let's get the results. Jerome, thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of McGrier versus Wade, when it comes to 20-year-old Amia Wade, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McGrier, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
But like I said, the broken promises won't be broken. And this doesn't change what I feel for you.
Even though you're not my father, I will allow you to be there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.